Hi, this is Ian Bott. I am from Idaho. I am 34 years old, and I helped produce this Riot issue. I'm a self-advocate and um, a member of and the vice chair of the DD Council, and I've been an advocate. I've been a self-advocate for 10 years, and I and I'm happy to be on this video today to promote the riot. This issue of the riot is called We Are Watching You, and I hope that all the people who need to see this video, between policymakers and other people involved in disability rights or people who need to know more about disability rights, are going to view this issue and view this video. So this issue is called We Are Watching You, and I hope that we're able to reach the people it needs. And the people who've helped have do this issue are Angela West from Virginia, Matthew Shapiro from Virginia, Michael Thorne from Arkansas, Rebecca Vosterstein from Virginia, Matthew Brumfeld from Virginia, David Pino from Wisconsin, Kathy Bates from New Hampshire, Shiloh Blackburn from Idaho, and my and me from Idaho, and Ian Bott from Idaho. I also want to give a shout out to everyone who is on staff who has helped create this issue, and without all of you, it wouldn't have happened. So I'm going to give a plug right now for the National Teleconference we are watching, October 5th, 2017. Hear from self-advocate leaders from across the country, voice your opinion, and it will be October 5th, 2017 from 1 to 2:30. Right now, I'm going to read We Are Watching for anyone who has trouble reading the issue or anyone who has any questions. And anyway, here is the first section of the We Are Watching issue, called We Are Watching. People with disabilities are worried about the future of their services and supports. People have gone to Washington, D.C. to fight against changes to the healthcare law. Some people were even arrested. Cuts to public supports like Medicaid will mean major setbacks for people with disabilities and their families. That includes loss of support, independence, and jobs. This cannot happen on our watch. The Riot has always been a resource for self-advocates to express themselves and tell it like it is. For this issue, a group of self-advocate leaders from across the United States came together to set the line on issues that are most important to people with disabilities. We are paying attention to what is going on across the country. The Riot issue spells out bottom lines on issues that are important to everyone. We will host a national conversation teleconference on this topic, and later issues of the Riot will judge what policymakers have done. Did they make things better or worse? We are watching. Mr. President, senators, members of Congress, governors, and state legislators, you're our policymakers. You have the power to make good or bad decisions about services that people with disability need. You can help us live in a good life in the community. That's what we want. Or you can hurt us. You can make decisions that will cut our services and make it very hard for us. We expect that you will make decisions to help us, not hurt us. We will tell you what we need you to do. Then later we will judge the decisions you make. We are watching you, and we vote. We will be watching and see what you do to make sure that people with disabilities are heard and included in helping to decide on the policies that affect them. Have opportunities to be a part of the community just like everyone else. Have access to good jobs. Have the opportunity to have loving relationships. Yes, romantic ones. Have access to good health care. Have reliable quality support workers. What does this all mean exactly? Keep reading to find out how self-advocates feel things are right now and what they expect in the future. We don't want others making decisions for us. The rallying cry of the self-advocacy movement is nothing about us without us. We want to have a say over our own lives and the supports we need. We want to be respected members of our communities. Right. We expect you to make sure that we have opportunities to give advice about the services that affect us. Make sure that we have equal opportunities to serve on boards and committees that make decisions about us. It is not long ago that people with disabilities were forced to live in large institutions far away from their families and communities. For many years, we fought the right to be included in community life. We cannot and will not go back. Oh no, we won't. What we expect you to do, make sure to keep the services we need to live in the community, help us serve our communities and be seen as vital members of society, make communities accessible to all members, including those with disabilities. We want real jobs for real pay. Like other people, we want money to live and do things we enjoy. Some employment services focus us on placing us in jobs instead of finding us the jobs we really want. We don't want to worry about losing our benefits if we make too much. We want a balance between pay and benefits so we can afford to live a good life with the support that we need. We expect you to do. Create more of a chance for us to get jobs. Make sure that service staff help us think outside the box, including self-employment. Make sure we have opportunities for job growth and promotions. We have the same need for love, support, and connection as anyone else. We want to have friendships and romantic relationships. Some of us want to raise a family. Sometimes we just want to go on a date like people do without having to be an advocate all the time. What I expect you to do. Make sure we have the right to get married if we want. Make sure we have access to relationship advice that has more than just being healthy and safe. Make sure we have the right and protection to become legal guardians of our own adoptive or foster children. Business idea. I'd like to start my own business. I've got a better idea. How about food service? Rita has tried to get support to start her own business until she is blue in the face. This is what we face a lot. The dinner date. Hi, wow, so glad you're paving the way for inclusion. We're on a date, if you don't mind. Do we even need to say it? Okay, we will. We are blue in the face over this one. This is what we face all the time, and I have faced it many a time, and I think the rest of us have as well. Just like everyone else, we need to be able to go to the doctor, dentist, or mental health therapist. Guess what? Our reason may or may not be related to our disability. We need to feel welcome and be able to make decisions about our own health care. We expect you to do. Make sure we have access to health care. This means physical access as well as respectful treatment by our medical staff. Make sure we have access to preventive care such as mammograms and prostate screening. Help to make sure medical offices are accessible for us, including exam tables and other equipment. Wages for workers. Many of us rely on others to support us with activities in everyday life. When we find a good match with a support worker, we want to keep them around, but often they get paid low wages and leave to find better paying jobs. This means that we are always hiring and training new staff. This is a lot of effort and puts us at risk of not having the good quality supports that we need. Sometimes that can even be dangerous. Yes, it can. We expect you to do. Make sure we find and keep reliable quality support workers. Support workers must be able to have a career and earn a livable wage. The office visit. Alrighty, go ahead and hop on the exam table. Seriously, this was like for us. This definitely gets a blue in the face. Ready? And that's definitely how it can be. New hire. Sorry, so sorry, but I found a better paying job. Wait, what? I just hired you. Guess back to square one. Looks like we'll be hiring and training new staff until we're blue in the face. Yep. There are people in leadership roles who do not fully understand how supports and services impact our lives, or they choose to ignore it. It's time for us to make our mark for the benefit of the disability community. I've heard some of you say that you're tired of saying the same thing year after year. You may ask yourself, is it worth it to keep fighting? The answer is yes. Even though we fought to get where we are today, it isn't over. Services and supports we rely on are not guaranteed. Disability advocates in the past crawled up the Capitol steps to make their voices heard. It's our time to carry this mission with a new energy. We must be united. Each person might feel strongly about a certain issue, but we have to be united in our underlying message. The message that we must be respected, have equal rights, and live to our fullest potential. We must be visible. Policymakers need to see our faces and hear our stories. When we're in front of them, they're more willing to listen. You don't have to go alone. There is strength in numbers. Going in a group shows that we are in this together and support each other. We must be willing to share our stories. Some policies or services make it seem like we are just another case to be fixed. When we tell our stories, people will begin to see that our lives are just as important as anyone else's. Some of you might be weary of sharing your story over and over and feel like you're a broken record. But we never forget that your story is unique and can have an impact each time you tell it. We must remember that policymakers are people. Sometimes it feels like we're talking to high officials who don't really listen or think about us when we're making policy decisions. However, each policymaker has real emotions and a family that might be connected to the disability community somehow. We must show them how policies could affect them or their loved ones. Don't be afraid to lift up your voice. Together we can shape the future for people with disabilities. If you are interested, make sure to access us on the Riot website, on Twitter, or on Facebook. It'd be great to have your support. Craig says, paying attention stinks. Every time I turn on the TV and I see people sharing about healthcare, people go to Washington, D.C. They think that the government is going to cut their healthcare services. They think that make sure maybe Medicaid will get cut, so they protest. Some get arrested. Medicaid, Medicaid, who cares? I don't care. Isn't there a baseball game I can watch? When does football season start? Can we watch a movie? I need some popcorn. Yes, it's true. I have a doctor, a dentist, and a person who comes by to make sure I'm okay, helps me pay my bills, and make sure I eat good food. I have another person who helps me with my job. I make my own decisions, and they both help me speak up for myself. What did you say? You said that all these people help me get paid? Who help me are paid by Medicaid? You said that Medicaid is money from the state and the federal government is Washington, D.C.? That's the money that pays attention to help me? And what? Said that if changes are made to healthcare law, there could be changes to Medicaid, even cuts to Medicaid? What? You mean that I could have my services cut, or my friends can have their services cut? Now, hold on a minute. Is that what all this is shine is about on TV? I should pay more attention. This affects my life. It affects our lives. Where do I sign up? I'm going to skip that baseball game and movie and popcorn and soda now. You have my attention. Hey, all of you are making decisions about my life. I want you to know Craig is watching. Looking for ways to get involved. Here are a few Riot favorites. Talk with a friend about what matters. Get your self-advocacy group together. Get the facts. Talk about what you learned. Get an opinion, then decide to act. Get radical. Check out ADAPT. Maybe you want to work with them. Stay in the know. Follow Autism Self-Advocacy Network. Have Coast a Coffee with Senator. Invite a group of friends over to talk to a local policymaker over cookies and coffee. Find out who your senators and representatives are here. Make a call. Call your representative and share what's important to you. Connect online. Scroll through social media sites. Find or share a hashtag. Here are a few faves. Save Medicaid for people with disability pride. Print and share. Print the last page of this Friday issue and share with others. Take action. Advocate, and continue to help others with disability rights and other people who are passionate about. This is a message that we pulled together for people with disabilities. People with disabilities are speaking up for equal rights and access to all aspects of community life. Some need support, and those supports may come in family, friends, communities, and public services. If you're a policymaker or community member and want to ensure people with disabilities have the support and freedom to live the lives they want, here's what you can do. Include people with disabilities in decisions. Make sure that we have the chance to give advice about the policies that affect us. Make sure that we have equal opportunities to serve on decision-making committees. Include people with disabilities in the community. Make sure they keep the services we need to live in the community. Help serve our communities and be seen as vital members of society. Make committees accessible to all members, including those with disabilities. Make sure that people with disabilities have access to good jobs. Create more chances for us to get jobs. Make sure that we have service staff that help us think outside the box, including self-employment. Make sure that we have opportunities for job growth and promotions. Protect the rights of people with disabilities to have loving relationships. Make sure that we can have the right to get married. Make sure that we can have the advice about relationships that is more than just being healthy and safe. Make sure that we get the support we need to make our own decisions. We have the right and protection to become legal guardians of our own adoptive or foster children. Make sure people with disabilities have access to good quality health care. Make sure that we have access to health care. This means physical access as well as respect for treatment. Make sure that we have access to preventive care such as mammograms and prostate screening. Help us make sure medical offices are accessible for us, including exam tables and other equipment, and the front of the office as well. Support good wages for workers. Make sure we can find and keep reliable, quality support workers. Support workers must be able to have a career and live a livable wage. The people. This page is a page of self-advocate voices and actions. Yes. I will read each one of them, given the names first, and then the quote. Ian Bott said, as a passionate self-advocate that strives for positive social change, my big issues are Medicaid, employment, and home support. These go hand in hand. Without Medicaid, I couldn't have done the stuff at home, worked, or had people that I could advocate for with these challenges. I hope to continue to have positive social changes. Angela West said, I hope that we can forward this to people in DC and not just our allies. I think we had a very important discussion, and the issue lays out how these services and sports really allow us to be members of society. Matthew Shapiro said, I would like to see this issue reach and educate as many people possible about the large systemic changes that still face people with disabilities. We have to begin to break down some of these systemic barriers in order for people with disabilities to be seen on the same level as any other minority in our country. They are often thought of as afterthoughts, and that needs to be addressed. Garrett Brumfield said, aside from systemic changes that need to occur for those with disabilities, I would hope that our efforts change the general perception society has about those with disabilities as well. Able-bodied individuals need to understand that despite our unique challenges, we have the same basic desires they do. Yep. If more would listen to understand as opposed to simply listening to respond, then we would be able to create change not only on our paper but in our hearts and minds as well. We certainly could. And Kathy Bates said, I really want the president and legislature to understand that disability never discriminates. It's part of every culture and every society. It's the only minority that anyone can join at any time. People who experience disabilities must be given the opportunity to live to their fullest potential. For many of us, this means we need to employ our own direct staff in order to work and participate in community life. If you don't care about my direct support workers, then you really don't care about me. Amen. I hope you enjoyed this video and hope that you learned something about the riot in this issue. I look forward to helping out with the next call, and I also look forward to being on the call on the national conversation in October. I would just want to record it, probably being a panelist for it. I hope that everyone else who is on the national conversation, self-advocates, legislators, and other people included, can have a fruitful discussion, and I hope that we all learned something today about what people with disabilities face and what needs to be changed. Thank you very much. I'm Ian Bott signing off, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you.